Hey, this is DrRic. This tutorial is on beginning a hiking program. Most important thing to start out with would be knowing the area where you're going. It would help if you had a map or at least reviewed it on either every trail or one of the commonly used hiking websites so you know where you're going. You don't wind up falling down into a ditch. We're going down a really steep incline. Other things, if you have little guys coming along, right?
Hello!
Little guys, you really have to take breaks frequently. And you also have to know weather. So we're heading into Mathiasen State Park, and for March, it's pretty cool. If it was middle of the summer, you'd have to bring mosquito nets, mosquito spray, and a lot more water. I'm carrying about 30 pounds of water now for the party that I'm leading or guiding. And even if they don't finish it, it's always good to have extra. So, also have to make sure everybody is dressed appropriately. Right now it's not too muddy, no rain lately. And again, at this time of year, mosquitoes are minimal. Kind of nice when you see no trees. I should say no leaves on the trees. But you can be fooled by slippery paths like this one. It's kind of sandy, and if you fall off the edge, it could be a problem. So, aside from that,
Why is there sand here?
this is where the drainage point is. So it takes sand down into the water.
Oh.
So again, this is a reminder. Map, weather, and tell James is working on his hiking stick. You got it, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes with these hiking sticks, you can, let me see, you can extend these sticks to help you as you step downward. You should extend them longer than usual just to help you feel for the ground that you're going to be walking onto. Or shorter as you're heading uphill, but they all assist you in as a third or fourth leg. Always good versus hanging onto your pack and assuming that you have good balance. If you slip, you're going on your elbows. Here's one of the back routes to get from the parking lot to main trail. You always have to make sure everybody's... Regarding mapping out where you're going and perhaps checking on Google Images about other folks that have taken pictures to where you're going, it'd be important, especially if there's anybody in the party that is not used to exercise or hiking. Knees could be a problem. This staircase, for most of my athletes, is not a big deal, but it would present a challenge, and if one person in the party has to go back, that means mostly everybody has to go back. So again, another reason why it's important to map out and know the logistics of where you're going and the weather. An important point to keep in mind is that when you know where you're going and you have a map, as I go off course, you can time it with nightfall. You always have, depending on how deep and difficult and long it is to the halfway point, you should always know when to turn around so that you get to base camp right at dusk. If you plan, unless you plan on hiking at dusk with headlamp, walkie-talkie, or radio, but it's kind of difficult. It slows down drastically wherever you are, especially if you're off trail. The groomed trails are pretty easy to take at dusk, but again, I like to plan on being at point of origination or pickup by the time it gets dark outside. Animals, mosquitoes, all that other stuff. So another good point to keep in mind about knowing weather and territory. So an important point of interest that you should always mark down on your maps is where the restrooms are. Probably not a big deal for guys, but ladies need to know where to go. And on that note, water, as much as it's cold and cool out of a faucet back there, can't trust where the filters have gone through or how good the filters are. So bring your own water. Even the point of what we did here at Mathiasen State Park is did some creek walking, and you inadvertently will have to support yourself with going across streams, and you'll get your hands wet. But that water, although it's flowing, does come from a lake, and in the lake is stagnant, and in the stagnant water you probably have animals and protozoa, so parasites. So just be careful. Always wash your hands before eating anything after coming out of the hiking, and carry your own water. I have a rule of thumb for how much water per hour or per activity, so I'll put a link to it. I present it in a hiking lecture, so read through it. Otherwise, as long as you reach destination, fantastic. If you don't, at least you've left a note of where you will be and somebody can come get you.